Here, and I was at the gas station getting something for getting fuel and getting something to drink, and kind of ran across this concept too where I saw it. For a lot of people who intend on bugging out, I guess, or even just getting home, sometimes you're gonna have to look at the fact that getting home, even in a crazy environment where the roads are closed or they're cut off, you may have to walk home, and you may have to use that bug out bag, or I kind of hate the term bug out bag. I use the term just bag or get home bag. To me, the bug out bag does more than just bugging out of your house to your getaway. It's your get home bag too, because that setup is to get you back where you need to be. So if you have your bag in your car like you should, and let's say you're at work and bad storm hits or the world ends and you can't get home because the roads are blocked off, well, everybody's going to have, an alternative plan. Google's going to kick in and give you alternate routes, right? Well, here's something that I thought was interesting. It's free, and it was sitting around, and it's basically bike trails, and it gives you all the maps of your area for bike trails. And cool, what if you did have a bike at your work, or what if you did just use the bike trails? If you had to walk home, this right here, this was free. It was just the information given, and you could just use this. You could use it as, hey, you know what? Here's the connecting bike paths I have. Where I live, even in the rural area I live in, a lot of the city areas and the stuff to me has a lot of bike trails and bike paths, and there's trails that go they follow the old train paths that no longer exist. But you have that as an option, so you look at it from that perspective. It's kind of how I look at prepping is critical thinking and seeing something and then doing something with it. So I saw this, I said, hey, well, you know what? If you had an alternative plan, if you had a walk home, cool. Why don't you carry one of these or kind of map out something, take the pages you need, laminate them, and put them in your bag. That way they're waterproof, they're not going to go bad, and you can simply just go, hey, you know what? Here's one more path I can take home, but also tell your family too that, hey, if I have to walk home, it's going to be, these are my choice paths, and here's what it's going to take. So if you have 20 miles to get home, right, on foot, and you're walking, I estimate you walk 2 miles an hour or less. And I know people are like, well, I get on the treadmill and I can do 4 miles an hour in there, or I can kind of jog. Excuse me. And what it is you can't. You can jog 4 miles an hour. Hell, I can pretty much do a fast ruck walk at 4 miles an hour. But for 20 miles? No, it's not going to happen. The thing is, you're not going to be just straight on bull, I'm going to go and fly down the road. No, you're going to have to take your time. You don't want to get hurt. You're going to have to drink water. You're going to have to conserve your energy a little bit. And if you do 2 miles an hour, you're walking at an okay clip, you're doing 2 miles. And if you're going to do 10 miles or 20 miles, it's going to take you 10 hours. That's straight walking for 10 hours. That is a lot. That is basically some people's my work day. From 6 to 4:30, or 6 to 4, you're going to be walking for 20 miles. And that's just if nothing gets in your way. That's not stopping for a break to get a drink. That's not stopping for a break to eat something. That is straight walking. It's doable in a day. It truly is. 20 miles is doable. 20 miles should probably be your peak of how far you should be able to walk in a day. So if you're out, 50, 60 miles, some people work that far. Yeah, this is where you're going to start looking into, I'm not going to be able to walk 40 miles in a day. You're going to walk for 20 hours? No, you're going to pretty much be wiped out by the end. And you're going to 60 miles. Now you have it. So if you break it up as 20 miles, these are some obtainable goals. You could use something like that. And it goes throughout the whole state, or this side of the state and the other side of the state. You could use this as, hey, here's what it's going to take. Here's my goals. I got, even let's say you have 60 miles instead of 20. I know that if I have to walk on foot, it's going to take 3 days minimum. So hey, let's say the event happens and I got 3 days. Well, let's give me a buffer. So let's say between 3 and 4 days in this route, this is how long it's going to take me to walk. If it becomes day 5, maybe you give them a little bit, and day 6 and they're not there, maybe that's when you start looking for them. Maybe that's when you start going down. Maybe they rolled their ankle and they're sitting on the side of the road. Excuse me. They're sitting on the side of the road, all kind of cobbled up. You know, maybe something bad happened. Maybe instead of walking or whatever, they got robbed. Maybe someone took their stuff, or maybe they're in trouble. You know, it's one of these things where it doesn't take much to disrupt the transportation or the transit or highways and stuff. All it takes is a road washing out. Or around here, you could have a bad snowstorm that wipes everything out and you can't pass. Would I recommend getting out of your car in a snowstorm? No. You should probably in that place shelter in place if you're that stuck. However, if you are within, you know, a certain range of getting home from, you know, let's say it was a road washed out, it's no longer raining, you know, make your way home that way. Or let's say, hey, you know what, FEMA, whatever reason, blocks off a road, or different people block off a road, or maybe there is a bad accident and they have to block off this section and it's forcing you around, or yeah, you might have to walk. Maybe you have to park up the block, or maybe you have to park a couple miles away. You know, having alternate routes would be probably the point of this. I mean, let's say, I don't know, I hate using the example of the EMP thing, but let's say, fine, EMP goes off and it does fry all the cars. Let's say that the worst case scenario does happen and it fries the cars. Yeah, you're going to be walking, and that sucks. So, with that note, I'm going to say, hey, just take a look around you. Look at bike trails. Look at ATV trails. Look at snowmobile trails if you live in those areas. Those are all alternative events that most people, I would say, wouldn't be looking to go to. Most people are going to stick to roads that they know, walking home, or they're going to stick to basically staying in place. A lot of people died in places like that, like especially the mass exit out of Iraq, where you saw a lot of civilian cars fried. They died in their cars because when the bombing happened, or when they got stuck in traffic, they never left. Had they walked and left that freeway, people would be alive. So it's just things to think about. Sometimes you actually have to get out and go. So with that, I'm going to leave and hopefully get all this stuff uploaded tomorrow morning. Again, just give yourself some time and examples to actually check some stuff around here. A lot of these maps are free, so hey, just check it out. So this is Raven Tactical. I'm out. Talk to you later.